Earlier today, Minnesota lawmakers were targeted in what is being called by authorities targeted political violence. A manhunt is now underway for the gunman who was impersonating a police officer. Minnesota lawmaker Melissa Hortman was killed. State Senator John Hoffman was wounded in this targeted political violence. A Minnesota state representative and her husband were shot and killed, and a state senator and his wife were shot and wounded in an act of targeted political violence at their homes on Saturday, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said. And because of that, the No Kings event in Northeast Minneapolis had been canceled due to a shelter-in-place order following this politically motivated shooting of two elected officials. They're Democrats, by the way, and apparently the manifesto. The shooter had a cop car, like a fake cop car, was dressed up like a fake cop, and I don't know. It's a very suspicious. It's a very suspicious situation. Obviously, a horrible political violent act, but State Representative Melissa Hortman, a Democrat, and her husband were shot. Hortman, formerly the Speaker of the Minnesota House of Representatives, was a formidable public servant, the governor said of his friend. She is irreplaceable. State Senator John Hoffman, a Democrat, and his wife were both shot multiple times and underwent surgery. We're cautiously optimistic they will survive this assassination attempt, Walz said. The two shooting locations are a few miles away from each other in Champlin and Brooklyn Park, just north of Minneapolis. Hortman and his wife were shot around 2 a.m. in Champlin. Superintendent of the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, Drew Evans, said. After Hoffman was shot, officers were heading to proactively check on Hortman when they encountered the suspect at Hortman's home at around 3:35 a.m., Evans said. The officers found a person who was dressed as a police officer wearing a vest and a badge with a taser and other equipment at the door coming out of Hortman's house. The suspect fired at the officers. Gunshots were exchanged, and the suspect was able to escape and flee on foot. The suspect's vehicle, which looked like a police vehicle, including police lights, was in Hortman's driveway. This is why I'm saying it's like incredibly suspicious. Was this an off-duty cop? Was this actually a cop? Was this like, how does he have so much police gear? Obviously, you can buy a lot of police gear, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. How was he able to escape? It's just like shocking events unfolding in Minnesota amidst this nationwide protest movement that's also astroturfed. So everything is messed up, and I'm here to obviously parse through it all for you and try to explain all of it to you, regardless of all the chaos, as always, as is my job. He apparently had a list. The shooter apparently had a list of possible targets that were retrieved from the suspect's vehicle. The list named Hortman and Hoffman. The list also included dozens of other Democrats from Minnesota, including Governor Walz, Representative Ilhan Omar, Tina Smith, and Attorney General Keith Ellison, according to law enforcement sources familiar with the matter. Law enforcement officials are looking into whether the suspect may have been motivated by extreme views on abortion, the sources said. Security resources have been dispatched to protect those people named on the list. The Capitol Police has said it's working with our federal, state, and local partners. President Donald Trump has been briefed on the shooting and said such horrific violence will not be tolerated. This is what people are claiming as a suspect. Not entirely certain, unless there is like already an official, an official extreme views like the right to have one. What? No. Why would... Yeah, dude. Famously, people who want to give women the right to have bodily autonomy are always gadded up, murdering fucking Democratic congresspersons. Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, yeah, we don't know who the suspect is yet. That's like what people, there's a lot of misinformation flying around. Obviously, in normal circumstances, we don't cover breaking news like this. But the reason why I'm bringing this up and giving you what the actual information that is like readily available in the media is because there is obviously a motive developing from the clues that the police have actually revealed about this person. There's obviously some suspicious aspects of this already, but as is the case with all breaking news online, one of the primary functions that I serve here is to look through all of the misinformation that is being disseminated by politically motivated actors that have no interest in telling you the truth whatsoever and have every interest in turning into this turning this into a political football. And the reason why I'm covering this right now is because there's information out there where people are saying, oh, he had a No Kings flyer in his car. There's been no real information about this as far as I know from mainstream resources. People are claiming that he was a left-wing extremist, for example. Again, doesn't make sense when compared to who his targets were. Why would a fucking left-wing extremist try to kill Ilhan Omar, for example? That is the information. Thank you for the 50 gifted by Rise. Yeah, it's just the notion that like this is a left-wing extremist doesn't make a lot of sense, because it doesn't make a lot of sense because like Ilhan Omar would not be a target, you know? CNN posted the flyers. Yeah, if you go to the official Twitter feed about this, and the top post of right-wing lunatic suggesting this guy was a liberal assassin hired to execute a state rep for an uncontroversial vote, and that Mel knew she was in danger based on a TV interview she gave yesterday. People have fucking lost their minds. Given the targeted shootings of state lawmakers overnight, we are asking the public to not attend today's planned demonstrations across Minnesota out of an abundance of caution. The photo is of flyers inside the vehicle. This is not flyers. These aren't flyers. Like, this is, again, it adds to the fucking fakeness. It adds to the suspiciousness, okay? Do you understand? Like, every part of this is so nutty. Anyway. Motherfucker drew that on paper and called it a day. Yeah. The list included U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar and U.S. Senator Tina Smith. Governor Tim Walz was on the list. In addition to Attorney General Keith Ellison, dozens of other Democrats from Minnesota were also included suspects on the list. This is what the law enforcement information revealed. So the idea that this guy is like a fucking left-wing lunatic who also simultaneously wanted to go to the No Kings protest and wanted to participate in the No Kings protest and was like anti-Trump, but also anti-Ilhan Omar is fucking psychotic. Okay? Ilhan Omar is the most left-wing congressperson in the country. Like, literally, she is the most left-wing congressperson in the country. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, Attorney General Pam Bondi said she's closely monitoring the situation. House Speaker Mike Johnson also condemned the violence, said every leader must unequivocally condemn it. Democratic National Committee Chair Ken Martin, formerly the Minnesota Democratic Party Chair, said he's friends with both Hoffman and Hortman. Speaker Hortman was a leader in every sense of the word, from ushering in free lunch for our kids, protecting women's rights and reproductive care, to standing up for Minnesota families, Martin said in a statement. Melissa was also a close friend whom I've known since the very start of her political career. She was someone I personally relied on for advice, counsel, and friendship. I am beyond words. As I said many times when I introduced her at events, she is the very best Speaker of the House that Minnesota has ever had. This senseless violence must end. These heinous murders are a reflection of the extremism and political violence that have been fomented in our country. Martin said, today we recommit ourselves to fight harder for the values that Melissa and Mark embodied, building a kinder, more just, and loving world. If this murderer thinks we will be silenced, he is wrong. With the manhunt ongoing, police are urging community members to be cautious. Brooklyn Park is under a shelter-in-place order. Police warned if an officer comes to your door, call 911 to confirm that the officer is supposed to be there. Police are asking that no one open their door to a lone police officer, the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office said. Licensed officers are working in pairs. Walz warned, out of an abundance of caution, Minnesota should not attend any political rallies until the suspect is caught. So this is the last update from this situation. That's why the No Kings event in Northeast Minneapolis had been canceled. And I guess it's partially because given the targeted shootings of the state lawmakers overnight, we're asking the public not to attend today's planned demonstrations across Minnesota out of an abundance of caution, said the official Twitter account for the Minnesota State Patrol. But this seems so stupid. You know what I mean? Like this, like the fact that he had this in the car, I don't know what his plan was. Maybe he wanted to like do a mass shooting at the protest or something. Local news has a suspect breaking KSTP. Okay. Sources tell Associated Press 57-year-old Vance Belter is sought in connection with the targeted attacks on House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and Senator John Hoffman and their spouses. So this is now there is confirmation of the director of security patrols for the Praetorian Guard security services. No wonder how he had police level gear. He might have had, this is if he is a residential armed home security licensed by the state of Minnesota. I suspect that is the reason why he had a cop car and was dressed in cop gear. These guys oftentimes will hire cops, off-duty cops, or even or even are cops themselves. So that makes a lot more sense now. All of a sudden, things are falling into place. But yeah, they also like the LARP as well. Here's the AP article. Officials tell AP they are searching for a 57-year-old man in shooting two Minnesota lawmakers. All right, go after it. Now this is where we unleash Chat CIA, and you guys can send me all information that you have about this. Dude, I really need you to talk to me a bit. Please read what I said. Please read what I said. Dude, I'm watching the stream from Tehran, bro. I'm watching the stream from Tehran. Do you have any advice? Bro, I swear to God, Hasanabi heads are fucking universal, dude. Hasanabi heads are universal. Motherfucker could be in Iran and will still be like, bro, you have to read what I am saying. What advice can I give you, big dog? Like, be safe, you know? What fucking advice can I give you? Like, what do you think I can do for you in this circumstance? Let me call up Tel Aviv real quick. Like, what do you mean? I wish I could do more. I wish I could protect you. I'm not lying, I swear. Bro, I believe you. There's hella fucking chatters from Iran that tune in. I know. Brother, I know. You are not the only one in here. Stop saying check logs. What? Oh, it's already been deleted. Whatever this was. Stock on essential pack, an emergency bag with your papers is the advice. I don't even know how that would work. All right, so this is the guy, or this is the suspect for the time being. Dr. Vance Belter has been involved in security situations in Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and Middle East, including the West Bank, Southern Lebanon, and Gaza Strip. He brings a great security aspect forged by both many on-the-ground experiences combined with training by both private security firms and by people in the U.S. military. He's worked for the largest U.S. oil refining company, the world's largest food company based in Switzerland, and the world's largest convenience retailer based in Japan. Vance has focused all his experience to make sure Praetorian Guard Security Services covers the... Dude, what the fuck? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it a $150. This is very, very, very strange. Okay? The background of this dude is so Fed-coded. Okay? Like, obviously, in the United States of America, when a fucking act of political violence or any kind of violence takes place, my immediate inclination is not like, what is going on here? This is federal. This seems federal. I would never say that because violence is a part of the core identity of Americans. Gun violence, in particular, assassinations, and even political violence, oftentimes is a thing that obviously happens almost indiscriminately sometimes. Ironic because I'm saying political violence, which is targeted, obviously. Even then, you can have like the guy who shot Trump, for example, the guy who shot Trump in the ear, like his background makes no fucking sense. But this is a truly, I never saw her say shit about Palestine, so fuck her. Okay, that's a ban. Thank you for that. 10-month subscriber. Have a good one. That's the most psychotic thing to say in this situation. Wow, that's cool. Anyway, apparently, yeah, he had a company in Congo, but like it's not showing anymore. Like I heard that in the chat as well. He has a LinkedIn. Apparently, he used to be a manager of 7-Eleven not that long ago. What? This is probably not his LinkedIn, chatter. What are you talking about? This doesn't show the director of security patrols at all. Got interviewed by Telemundo and ATL. I might get some airtime with the merch. Hell yeah. Here's that bio that got nuked. Screenshot it. Thank you. Dr. Vance Belter, EDD, CEO of Red Line Group. Oh, okay. Maybe you're right. Maybe this LinkedIn is correct then. Dr. Vance Belter, EDD, is the CEO of Red Line Group based in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's also the CEO of the Praetorian Guard Security Services based in Minnesota. Not sure why his LinkedIn doesn't reflect the Praetorian Guard Group. His LinkedIn doesn't have it. But, I mean, this dude is a merc. Dr. Belter majored in international relations for his undergraduate degree at St. Cloud State University, Minnesota. He holds his master's of science and management degree and doctorate in leadership for the advancement of learning and service from Cardinal Stritch University in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Dr. Belter, is he a Boer? Is he like fucking initially South African or something? What is this fucking last name? Dr. Belter has worked full-time for some of the largest companies in their field, such as Nestle, Del Monte, Tesoro, Marathon Speedway. Like, for the record, for those of you who don't know, okay? For those of you who don't know, this type of security contracting is basically Pinkerton shit. So when someone says like, oh, this guy works for Nestle, okay? When someone says like, oh, this guy's worked with a lot of, high profile clients, like this is, when he says Nestle and he's in Africa, he's like, I don't know, securing the mines or maybe even in certain circumstances, like engaging in political instability at the behest of a company that is beneficial for whichever company he's working for. Okay? This is not like, this is the background and profile of a mercenary through and through. The link is still working. Oh, now it's working. It wasn't. It was hitting me with a 404 before. Minnesota Africans United. Nestle, Del Monte, Tesoro, Marathon Speedway, 7-Eleven. He's worked in operations, technical services, quality services, continuous improvement. Dr. Belter's experience in Eastern Europe, the Middle East, Africa. He currently lives in Minnesota with his wife, Jenny, and their children. Like, there's something very suspicious about his background. I am losing my mind on right-wingers online. The whole Twitter sphere and right-wing podcast groups are trying to sweep this mercenary history under the rug, force deletions of his history, and are pushing that he's a lefty because Waltz appointed him to a business council 6 years ago. That's a talking point. That's the talking point, so you know. Yeah, this is... Yeah, I mean, this is very Fed-coded. But also, given the profile and also given the targets that he went after, anyone trying to say this is like a fucking extreme leftist is a fucking insane person. I don't know what else to say about it beyond the fact that he wanted to assassinate the fucking governor. Like, New York Post is running with, well, the governor, Tim Walz. He's in this article from 2018 as a rep from the Marathon, the oil company. Congolese ambassador welcomed in Worthington. Vance Belter, representing the oil refinery and convenience store chain Marathon Petroleum Corp., suggested approximately 20 businesses in the state team up and train Congolese workers in a variety of occupations. Then, after 7 years, for example, those citizens could return to the DRC and use their experience to launch prosperous businesses in their home nation. This is info including his likes online. Breaking: Vance Luther Belter has been reported to be a suspect in the murder of Minnesota politicians. There's disinformation about his political leanings. He is not far left. Don't let them seize this narrative. Not today. I mean, dude, just show this, bro. Just show this fucking photo. That's it. That's all you need to know about this motherfucker's political associations, okay? Look at the high and tight. This is the most cop haircut you could ever arrive at. Like, what are we talking about? He was dressed as a cop. He has police gear. He owns and runs a fucking private security contracting group called the Praetorian Guard. He was trying to kill Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz, and you got the motherfucking New York Post still running along with this narrative that, like, because Tim Walz posted him up. Yeah, this is the fucking logo for a security company. Yeah, the security company that features him as the director of security patrols and what appears to be his wife as CEO specifically lists that they use police-type vehicles. It's notable that Facebook took down the leaked suspect's page immediately. Guy has a background in providing security services in Africa. His wife recently liked an event post for an alternative prom held for Christian homeschooled kids that started with a senior prayer blessing. And it's crazy that, like, Minnesota's Eric Prince, exactly, is being presented as a fucking left-wing lunatic by, I guess, New York Post. The vehicle shown on a news report looks similar to this, but it didn't have the logo. The emergency lights are orange, not blue-red. Pretty sure this guy with the full kit in the third photo is Vance. It's interesting. The training manager worked with the FBI previously. Todd, security training manager, brings many years of security experience and training management to our team. He's a retired undercover officer, having served our communities rigorously. He also has experience working alongside many government agencies, such as the FBI. That is the company's security management guy. I mean, this has the makings of a very weird situation. His name is part of a security company as well. What is this? Center of Evangelique Francophone Le Born Matadi. Unity in the body of Christ. Wait, who is this? Is this him? Doing Sunday servings? Sunday services? All the sermons of Vance Belter. If you want to know why a Democratic senator and a representative in Minnesota were shot, it might have something to do with the fact that their deaths would end the Democratic majorities in both chambers. That is crazy. I mean, there's a, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Dude, this is some wild shit, man. I mean, there is a lot of weird oddity taking place here with the background of the suspect. If this is the suspect, because the police and the Associated Press is now revealing this information that he is the suspect, and the cops are right that he is the suspect, and it makes sense given all of the other information that we do know about the situation, having like a police cruiser, having police gear. Because remember, These licensed security companies often work with cops and have the same license that cops have to get cop gear. Okay. I don't know how it is in the state of Minnesota, but he could have just like, but a guy who worked for oil companies in Congo, worked for food companies around the country, turning around and doing a targeted political assassination of Democrat lawmakers